Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be crocheting this beautiful spiral shape heart, and we just added a visor to it. So happy new year. I'm glad to have you back. Stay tuned because I will be explaining how you can achieve this step by step. This is beginner friendly. For my materials, I'm going to be using this lightweight yarn. This is yeye yarn. So I'll be doubling my strands. I'll be using a tape, a pair of scissors, darning needles, and a 4mm hook. So let's get started with our tutorial. So we are going to start by making a slip knot, just like this. And then we can proceed to make our magic ring. For our magic ring, I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to slip stitch into the very first stitch, like this. So now we have our magic circle or magic ring that we can walk into. So now I'm going to chain 3. And then into that magic circle, we are going to place 16 double crochet stitches. So if you are using a thicker yarn, let's say a 5-ply yarn and a 4.5mm hook, you can go ahead and chain 15. But if you're using this same size yarn and this hook, you should chain 17 into the magic circle, including the chain 3 we did at the beginning. That is a total of 17. Then we are going to slip stitch to close off the round. You pull the tail to close your magic circle well. Then we are going to do a front post single crochet, inserting our hook from the back to the front, and then we chain 2, and then into our next stitch we are going to make a front post double crochet. Insert your hook from the back to the front like this, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, repeat the same thing, insert your hook from the back to the front, and then you put a double crochet. So this is a front post double crochet, and we are going to do that for all our 16 double crochet stitches till we get back to our starting point, where we are going to make a slip stitch to close off the round. Now to continue, we are going to do a front post single crochet like this, and then we'll chain 2, and then into that space there we are going to place a double crochet stitch, 1, 2, and then we are going to do a front post double crochet into the post stitch. In the space we are going to do a double crochet. Into the post we are going to do a front post double crochet. So we are going to repeat this all round till we come back to our starting point. A regular double crochet in the spaces and a front post double crochet stitch on our post stitches from the previous round. Now that we have made it to the end, we are just going to make our last front post, and don't forget to put a double crochet in that space there before you close off your round. Now you can go ahead and slip stitch into the chain 2 we did at the beginning to close off your round. Now to go to our next round, we are going to do a front post single crochet like that. Then go ahead and chain 2, 1, 2, and then into that very first space there we are going to place 2 double crochet stitches, 1, 2, and then we are going to skip the double crochet from our previous round, that one right there, and then we go into the post stitch with a front post double crochet, 2 regular double crochet into the space. We skip the 1 regular double crochet from our previous round and go into the post stitch with a front post double crochet, and we are going to repeat that all round till we get back to our starting point. Now that we are at the end of this round, don't forget to put your 2 last double crochet stitches into that space, and then you skip the 1 double crochet from our previous round and you make a slip stitch into the chain 2 we did at the beginning of the round. For our next round, we are just going to do a front post single crochet, chain 2 as usual. Then into that first space, we are going to place 3 double crochet stitches. 1, this is the second, third. Then we are going to skip the 2 double crochet stitches from our previous round and go into the previous post stitch with a front post double crochet, 3 regular double crochet into the space. Then we skip the 2 regular double crochet stitches and do a front post into our post stitch. You notice that we are doing an increase from 1 regular double crochet to 2, and now we are placing 3 regular double crochet stitches into the spaces while skipping the regular double crochet stitches from the previous round and working a front post double crochet into the post. We are going to repeat that till we get back to our starting point. Now that we are here, we have done our 3 double crochet. We skip the 2 double crochet from the previous round, and then we do a slip stitch to close off our round like this. Now to continue, we do the same thing. We do a front post single crochet, then we chain 2, and for this round 6 we are going to be placing 4 double crochet stitches into the space. That first space right there, you place 4 regular double crochet stitches, 2, 3, 4. Then we skip our 3 double crochet from our previous round and go into the post stitch with a front post double crochet. Then we repeat the same thing by placing 4 double crochet stitches into the next space. Skip our 3 regular double crochet stitches from our previous round and do a front post double crochet into the next post. So the pattern is the same, we are just increasing the number of regular double crochet stitches. So we are just going to repeat this till we come back to our starting point, where we can make a slip stitch to close off our round. Now we are at the end, we are just going to slip stitch now to close off our round. Now we'll do a front post single crochet with chain 2. This is round 7, and we are no longer doing increases, so we are going to maintain 4 regular double crochet stitches in between our spaces. So we are going to place 4 double crochet stitches there. Then we skip the 4 double crochet stitches from our previous round and do a front post double crochet into the post. We repeat in the next space, we are putting 4 double crochet stitches. Skip the 4 from our previous round and do a front post into the post stitch. We have gone all round and we have come back to our starting point. Look at how cute this pattern looks like. Now we are going to slip stitch to close off this round. Now you're going to do more rounds of 4 double crochet stitches. That is round 7. Repeat round 7 till you have 6 inches. When not stretched, when slightly stretched, you have about 7 inches. Then you're going to chain 1 after you do a slip stitch and do a single crochet into every stitch till we come back to our starting point. I just place a stitch marker there so that'll be easy. Now I'm going to slip stitch to close off the round, and we are going to do another row of single crochet stitches. So we chain 1 and then we go into every stitch with a single crochet all round till we come back to our starting point. So there we go. You can place a stitch marker there so you don't get confused when you walk and come back. Then we are going to place single crochet stitches all round till we come back and do a slip stitch to close off the round. Yeah. Now we are going to chain 1 and cut off our yarn. At this point you're going to slip hide in the tail of your yarn. You can use a darning needle or your hook. And this is how our hat is looking like. At this point, this is a very cute beanie. You can rock it like that. So we are going to measure 2 centimeters from the side. And we are working with the front part. Where we had our seam is behind. So on the front, take 2 centimeters and you place a stitch marker there. And then on the other side, you're going to take 2 centimeters too, and you place a stitch marker there. Like that. So we can start working on the brim of our hat. Grab your yarn and we are going to start where we have our stitch marker. So make a slip knot. Then you can go into that stitch. You can take your stitch marker out. Go into that stitch and attach our yarn. You can chain 1. And then we are going to make single crochet stitches till we reach the other stitch marker at the other end. When you reach there, you take it off and you place a single crochet into the stitch. Then you chain 1 to turn our work. Then into the very first stitch, we are placing a single crochet. Second stitch, single crochet. Third, fourth and fifth stitch, we are placing a single crochet. Now in the fifth stitch, we are going to do an increase. We are placing 2 single crochet stitches. And then we'll continue in the next 4 stitches. We are placing single crochet stitch per stitch. And in the fifth stitch, we are going to do an increase by placing 2 double crochet stitches into the same stitch. And we are going to repeat that till we get to the end. When we get to the end, we are just going to chain 1 and turn our work. Then we are going to place a single crochet into every stitch. So go ahead and place a single crochet into every stitch till you get back to the end. Now that we are at the end, we are placing our last single crochet stitch, and then we'll chain 1 and turn our work. And now I want to start reducing. So you go into the first stitch, you pull a loop through, go into the second stitch, pull a loop through. Now I have 3 strands, pull through 3, and then we are going to continue with single crochet stitches till we have just 2 stitches left towards the end, where we are going to do another reduction. You go into the first stitch, pull a loop through, go into the second stitch, pull a loop through, and then you pull through all 3, chain 1 and turn, and repeat the same thing. So we are reducing for every row. You yarn over, pull through, insert and pull through all, single crochet stitches into every stitch till we reach the last 2 stitches where we are going to do another reduction. So we have reached the end. We are going to insert, pull through, and then pull through or chain 1 and turn. So basically we are just going to keep reducing until we have about 5 centimeters. For my brim I did 5 centimeters. You can do more if you want, but this is 5 centimeters and mine is okay. So we are just going to chain 1 and cut off our yarn. You can use a darning needle to weave in your ends or your crochet hook. And then now our work is a little bit rough because of all the reduction. So we go to the back of the hat where we have our seam, attach our yarn, chain 1, and then we'll start doing single crochet stitches into every stitch so we can give it a good finish. When you reach where the brim is attached to the hat, you pull through 2, pull through 3 stitches, so we are doing a reduction right there to make it to look better. So right there we are doing 3 single crochet stitches together, and then we'll continue with single crochet stitches into every stitch till we reach the other corner where the brim is connected to the hat, and we are going to do 3 single crochet stitches together again for a smooth transitioning. So just keep placing your single crochet stitches till we get to the other corner. So we have reached the other corner. We are going to insert, pull through, and then insert into the hat itself, and then pull through all 3 like that. Then now we'll continue with our single crochet stitches into every stitch till we get back to our starting point. This is to just give it a nice finish touch. So we have come back to our starting point. We are going to slip stitch, then we'll chain 1, cut off our yarn, weave in our end, and this is our hat. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you. Please subscribe, leave a comment.